So first off, a lot of you guys are probably wondering what exactly is a prepayment penalty. So simply put, it means that if you pay off the loan early, you have to pay a penalty or a fine or fee, whatever you want to call it. Hey guys, it's Angelo Christian Financial. Thank you so much for watching our podcast, Real Estate Insider, Where America Goes for Funding. Give us a call or text us, 832-431-6331. Today we're talking about prepayment penalty, to do or not to do, and explaining what exactly is a prepayment penalty and when does it make sense to have one and when it doesn't, it doesn't make sense. So first off, a lot of you guys are probably wondering what exactly is a prepayment penalty. So simply put, it means that if you pay off the loan early, you have to pay a penalty or a fine or fee, whatever you want to call it, to the lender to get out of it, because they have to arrange the capital, do the loan, all the paperwork, all the processing, and they want to make sure that they're getting a return on their money. So if let's just say you do a $500,000 rental property loan. Now, one thing that's important to know, you cannot have a prepayment penalty on a primary homestead residence. That's prohibited in Texas, or nationwide rather. So, but prepayment penalties are on commercial loans, they're on investment properties, anything that's not primary residence, okay? So let's just say that you're, getting a $500,000 mortgage to buy a rental property, and it's in Kissimmee because you want to be by Disney and make all the rental income and Airbnb and all that stuff, okay? So you take a $500,000 loan out. Now, the thing that's important to realize is that the way prepayment penalties work, they have an inverse relationship to the interest rate. So if the loan has a long, like a 5-year prepayment penalty, that means that it's probably going to have a lower rate. So that means that if you have a high prepay, you have a low interest rate. Okay, they work in inverse together, because that means you're going to stay on the loan for a long time. Now, bridge loans, on the other hand, something that's short term, like 6 months or a year, does not have a prepayment penalty, because you're going to get in and out of it like a fix and flip. Okay, so the way it works is if you're making a decision as an investor or whatever you're trying to do, if you want to prepay or not, it's depending on what is your exit strategy. What are you trying to do? Are you going to keep this long term? Are you going to refinance it? Are you going to flip it? Now, the way it works, or the most strategic, is if you're keeping it for long term, then you want to have a prepayment penalty so you have a lower rate. If you're going to be in and out of it, and then you do a bridge loan, then you won't have a prepayment penalty. But you are going to pay a higher rate with a bridge loan. Kind of give you an example, the SCR long-term loan, you can get like a 30-year fixed around 6%. But a bridge loan, let's just say it's starting at 10%. But the bridge loan doesn't have a prepayment penalty. The long-term loan does. If you do a 3-year prepayment penalty, that means that if you pay off the total balance of the $500,000 within 3 years, you have to pay a penalty, usually 6 months of interest, to the lender, okay? So in this example, you do 6 months times 6% times 500,000, or whatever the balance is, and that's the penalty to get out of the loan within 3 years, or whatever the term of the penalty is, whether it's 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, you have to pay that. And it can come out of your proceeds if you're selling or refinancing. You don't actually have to write a check for it. It'll actually come out of your proceeds. Now, so the moral is that if you are going to keep the property long-term, you want long-term financing, is to have a prepay so you can get a lower rate, because you don't want to have a long-term, you wouldn't be able to make money on a 10, 11% interest rate if you're trying to keep that property long-term. So bridge loans are for short-term, and then long-term loans, you want to have a prepay so you can have a lower rate if you're going to keep that property, if that's your plan. That's the takeaway here, okay? The other thing is that understanding what the prepay is and the amount. It's usually 6 months of interest that has to be paid. Now, you can prepay more towards the principal within that 3 years. You just can't pay off the whole amount. If you do, you have to pay that penalty. And then after the time frame, whatever that time frame is, the penalty is lifted and it goes away, and then you can pay it off. So those are the takeaways about what a prepayment penalty is. So we offer all different types of financing packages with Angelo Christian, or direct, nationwide, commercial, residential, and private lender. So if we can help you with any type of financing, please reach out to us. You can call or text my office. We do, investment property, primary, secondary, commercial, everything. So reach out and give Angelo Christian a call, 832-431-6331. It's where America goes for funding.